Hey everybody, and welcome back to ContinueQuest. I'm Paul.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jen.
Jen's nice and quick.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and quick.
We're gonna get right into it. At some point, I was able to
But
calm myself.
no, they don't know what happened. You're supposed to recap what we did last week.
Last week, Paul made Hana fall in love with him by accident.
Through sheer dedication to political
And compassion.
craftiness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty compassionate and politically aware person.
Yeah, you're
right?
all right.
I'm pretty passionate when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
You've heard me get angry.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's not even. I don't want to.
I get pissed.
Can you
Let's not.
believe they're going to do construction in my city? I didn't sign off on that.
No, that's all they do in Philadelphia.
Well, no, dude, there's like a ton of construction going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the up and up this city.
Yeah.
Yes,
we're
we
coming back.
are.
We're coming back.
Building upon the trash.
But Hana seemed very upset about the fact that she was in love with Paul.
Yeah, I thought I screwed up. I
I
feeling real
thought
bad.
she screwed up. Like I thought something bad was going on, but it's just she doesn't know how to act.
Yeah.
How to deal with it.
I thought maybe she felt like taken advantage of.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I
wined
thought.
and dined her, and then was just like, oh, yeah, you're going to work for me, right? Yeah.
That's
you're
what
gonna
I
work
thought. I thought I was being a real
Mm-hmm.
jerk.
Being
Yeah.
real Italian over there.
It was really that
conniving.
last episode was emotional for me. I
Yeah.
gotta say it.
Dude, I don't think that Brad has recovered.
No,
Nope.
Brad has tried to take off for this.
Yeah, he told me to
episode.
just take care of the timer thing, so I'm going to run it this time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Brad's taking.
Maybe
a
you'll
break.
give us a couple extra minutes.
Okay. I didn't see that he
Yeah.
didn't show up, so I don't notice him anyway because he's nothing to me. So
And nothing, man. Like a true politician, Paul.
like
Way
a
to
true
go.
politician, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I was able to calm myself and look at the situation realistically. Feelings were feelings, and I couldn't control them. At some point, they'd pass or go away, and if they didn't, I'd find a way to deal with them. Besides, I had no way of knowing whether this was truly love. I never experienced it before, after all.
So tell me why can't this be love?
I was going on my gut instinct, but plays had been written about why teenagers trusting their gut instinct was a terrible idea.
Romeo
horror
and Juliet.
movies. And horror movies.
Yep.
All of them.
It follows.
It follows. I managed to make it through class the next day with my sanity intact. When the bell rang, I stood from my chair and Mai gave me a huge thumbs up. I nodded, but otherwise ignored her. I didn't need a thumbs up. I needed sanity.
Dude, it's meeting time.
As I headed through the hallway, I began to notice something weird. People were pointing at me, shocked looks on their faces like I was wearing a blood-red clown nose.
That's crazy.
Doesn't look like much. I bit my lip. Was this because I was helping him with the campaign? It seemed like an odd thing for people to be so concerned about. Maybe Paul was right, and this was really a good publicity move.
He's not right.
It wasn't until I stepped outside and do some bird noises. It wasn't until I stepped outside and I saw the newspapers in the rack that I understood. President dating campaign assistant? We received an anonymous tip that Hana Mizuno, the third-year transfer student from Amarisu, is the secret weapon that Paul Ritchey spoke of.
Damn.
However, sources are divided on how this weapon is supposed to function.
Oh, damn.
It appeared they were engaging in human activity one would call a date or an outing, our anonymous source reported. Perhaps I bet you it's girl Paul. Perhaps she gives him the moral strength required to operate in a civilly unjust society. Regardless of the motive, one thing is certain. This couple has caught the public's eye. Here's hoping for a happy ending.
Whoa.
Yo, this is some House of Cards shit. We're a power
Dude,
couple.
we turned into TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, dude, what's the Hana Paul name?
Hoppa.
Hoppa. All
Or
right.
it would be Pana.
Hoppa.
Pana's
Pana.
cooler. I like Pana.
Not Hall?
No, Pana. I just threw a P. The P.
Pana.
PA. I was taking the PA part of it. Could be Hall. Ooh, Hall.
Hall?
Hall.
Good, yeah.
Hall's kind of nice. It sounds like you're gonna get stuff done. We're gonna haul this.
Yeah.
We're gonna haul ass to progress. That's what it would say on our signs. It'd be Paul Hana. We're gonna haul ass. No, Hall would be in quotes.
Or maybe it's like, what's her last name? Mizuno?
Mizuno. Rizzuno.
Rizzuno?
Rizzuno sounds like Rizzo,
Yeah.
which does not make me feel good about
No.
politicking.
No.
Look up
Frank Rizzo.
Frank Rizzo if
Yeah.
you don't know
Crumb
about Frank
Bum.
Rizzo.
Did you ever see that?
What?
He's like, this interviewer from like Eyewitness News is like, we need to talk to you about this thing, like coming to like Frank Rizzo's home.
Uh-huh.
And Frank Rizzo's, get out of here. I'll box all of you. Get out of here. You're nothing but a crumb bum.
Crumb bum.
Dude, it's so good.
Look up Frank Rizzo.
Yeah.
He dropped a bomb on the city of Philadelphia.
Wow, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Also, Look up crumb bum.
And look up Crumb.
And look up, Frank Rizzo crumb bum.
Crumb bum.
Don't look up the bomb thing because that's kind of depressing. Crumb bum, that's kind of funny.
Look up the bomb. It's insane. I flung the newspaper back on the rack and stalked towards the cafeteria, mind racing. This was not what I wanted to happen. This was the opposite of what I wanted to happen.
No.
Man, I'm just...
I think me and Josh are like reporting on this stuff. Maybe
I think
behind
so.
Paul's back.
I think you might be.
It's fucked up.
So was I smiling so much? So why was I smiling so much? Oh, she likes it.
Damn.
I got my ham and bologna sandwich.
ham and bologna together?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, both?
That's crazy.
That's like an Italian sandwich.
I didn't
Oh
feel
yeah,
like,
that is like
yeah, it's like Abigail.
Italian hope.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like eating anything more complicated and scanned the lunchroom for the section that had the most frenzied activity. As expected, Paul, Nick, and Josh were at that table. Grinned at me. Wait.
Yeah.
As expected, Paul, Nick, and Josh were at that table, grinned at me.
I went to meet them.
Paul's having problems with grammar.
Yeah, I can't read it. Anyways,
Conjugating too much.
yeah, I went to meet them, contemplating how I should bring up the newspaper article. All three of us, that's trouble. As I sat down,
man.
they cleared their throats.
Dude,
I'm
she's
Paul.
facing the tribunal. I'm Nick.
And I'm Josh.
And welcome to our
campaign
team. From beneath the table, they drew out small confetti poppers and pulled them. Confetti sprang into my face, small clouds of smoke drifting across the table. We're glad to have you.
Yes, truly glad, truly blessed. You have no idea how much this means to us, to me in particular.
People are saying we're truly blessed.
Truly blessed.
Hashtag blessed. I am sure you'll be a very valuable asset.
Oops, sorry.
Your perspective is highly valued.
Josh nodded to himself, and Nick shot him a glare. I dusted the confetti off my head, glaring at them.
So, about the campaign.
Right. There's something I need to tell you. Part of the reason part of the reason my remaining president is so important is
You're
because
running for re-election.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is because last year I implemented a 2-year plan. I laid the groundwork for the students to be able to petition Asagao Academy for school funding for various interests. Then I spent all of that year challenging decades-old legislation that prevented certain groups from fully expressing themselves. I'll say it took forever, but it got done. This year is the year we're actually going to do something with that legislation by throwing school-wide festivals and holidays to learn about and celebrate all sorts of different things, including the tournament. He grinned broadly at me.
There's other stuff than just the tournament in there, right?
Oh yeah, like lots of genuinely important stuff. But I wanted to throw us all a bone too. We're lucky it falls on a Saturday this year. Last year we had to create a distraction because Jared couldn't afford to skip a day of class. I convinced Mr. Saitama I was a rare breed of werewolf that turns into...
Wait, this is Josh. This is me.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
He's so used to reading, he reads so much.
It's
through it.
I've been doing a ton.
You can be Josh.
No, you don't.
I do want to say Mr.
You're girl Josh.
I convinced Mr. Saitama I was a rare breed of werewolf.
Man, I kind of wish Paul had just sped through that one.
That turns in broad daylight. We had to get Mr. McPasta to help us. Why on earth would Mr. McPasta help with that?
Mr. McPasta. Nick shrugged.
He's a weird dude, but he's a nice guy. It's for a laugh. If it's for a laugh, he'll do it. I think he just wants to see the reaction. Plus, he's kind of into that.
He seems kind of into stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Or whatever.
Oh, there he is.
Nick jerked a thumb across
That's
the cafeteria.
Mr. McPasta.
There, okay.
Okay.
And I saw Mr. McPasta peering closely at a string of raw beef. A string of raw beef? A malicious grin on his face. He's so creepy. So we've been trying to decide on our strategy this year, but we haven't gotten any idea what to do.
See,
Josh pushed forward, setting his hands on the table and staring me down like a lion.
if you ask me, we need to leave people alone. Keep the whole election on the down low, meeting our competition's campaign efforts, but never exceed.
Brilliant.
Yep.
We want the election to fall away from the people's minds so that when the ballot rolls around, they go with a comfortable face.
That's a terrible idea. We need to win their hearts, not hope they forget we exist. If we can make them like Paul, if we can make them think he would be a cool dude to get a drink with, or somebody they can relate to, they're bound to vote for him because they'll trust how he runs things.
I thought we should talk actual platforms. Tell people what we're planning on doing.
You did that last year. Because of that, and because of all that legislation, you don't have much to show for it. We can't do that, or they won't believe in you.
Your plan is basically the same thing. They'll still think he won't be able to do anything. People want to stick with the status quo. And if we play our cards right, we can use that to our advantage. I can't read today.
That's fine. I don't want to manipulate anybody either, and I don't like sitting and waiting for stuff to happen. I like to be proactive.
Yeah, too proactive.
Ouch, that hurts. I watched them bicker between themselves, waiting for a lapse in the conversation so I could get a word in edgewise, but one never came. After 7 minutes of watching them tread the same ground, I raised the timid hand. Hana. Right, Hana. You're the level-headed one. This is exactly what we wanted you for. What should we do?
What? Wait, now I'm in charge of the decision?
Paul nodded and pointed at me. It was clear the ball was in my court.
Oh, damn.
Shit.
Alright, so it's Nick choice,
Josh, Paul.
Paul choice.
Okay.
Talk platforms. That's what you should do. You should talk about your campaign.
Yeah.
Paul's eyes glittered.
Not just
Kiss
hands and shake babies.
Yeah.
Shake babies.
I agree with it. I knew you'd see it my way. I didn't like being put on the spot like that. Having to make decisions all of a sudden was not my strong suit. I was right. I should have kept going with it. Moreover, having to choose between people was not something I liked to do, even if they themselves weren't taking it to heart. As I watched Paul, Nick, and Josh started discussing tactics for the tournament.
Well, Nick's really really good at grabs for some reason. So if the other person gets into close combat,
we won't be able to tag out fast enough, but then they'll have scooted by then they'll scoot it away.
And maybe I should go in first instead of you.
I ate my sandwich slowly and gazed across the cafeteria. Mine and the rest of the Normal Boots crew were laughing about something. Mine was inching closer and closer to Jared with each passing second. She reached up and tapped him on the shoulder, and he swerved away to talk to Shane as if he didn't even notice. Well played, Jared.
You think Hana? Huh? You weren't listening, were you?
Man, Josh is out for you.
Yeah, man. Look at that face.
Yeah.
How sassy that face is.
So much sass.
Josh sighed heavily, then rubbed his temples.
I can't work with this. I can't work with it.
Paul wants you to go with him to the interview.
What? Interview?
It's on PB&J, so it's not a big deal. It'll be exactly like hanging out with the guys. Don't worry.
Paul, I really don't think I should. I'm not good at that kind of thing.
Of course you are. Don't count yourself out before you even try.
I'm not. I know how I get in front of crowds. It's really not for me.
Paul rolled his eyes.
I'm sure you'll be great if you give it a try.
It's not even a crowd. It's just two guys. Please, listen to me.
It's decided. You're coming with me. A shiver passed down my spine. Why weren't they listening to me? Just before, I was the only one who could decide on things, and now my opinion didn't count. I stared at my plate. I wasn't hungry anymore.
I think I'm going to head back.
Really? Let me come with you then. Paul stood and Nick and Josh stood as well.
We're coming too.
Oh, sorry, but I wanted to talk to Hannah alone. Josh and Nick looked annoyed at this turn of events, but I couldn't tell whether it was because Paul was taking me away from them or because I was hogging Paul. Dejected, they sat back down and started debating about the realities of spider tea parties. Nice.
I'm just saying, an actual spider would kill everyone.
How? Venom tea?
Maybe.
Yeah, true.
Yep. Paul and I tossed our trays, then headed out to campus. I really wasn't planning on having him follow me, but maybe now was a good time to talk to him about that article. Are you feeling better today?
What?
Paul searched my face, but what he was looking for I didn't know. I blushed and looked away. You were really sad yesterday, so I was wondering...
Oh. Yeah, I guess I'm better now. I just felt sick is all.
Paul nodded. The campus was truly beautiful in the spring sunshine. There was a light breeze, and as I looked at the buildings we passed, I was reminded again of how well off Asagao was. The walkways were spick and span, the hedges perfectly trimmed. It wasn't a surprise that the campus was a hive for rumors. So many rich kids and no city to play in.
So Paul, have you seen those rumors?
Do you want to? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were in the newspaper, so...
just started talking immediately. I just go.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
those.
jerk.
Oh yeah, those.
Oh, yes.
Let's just all say the lines.
Yeah.
Paul kicked the stray pebble off the sidewalk. What?
Same in unison.
Oh, Paul.
You guys want to do synchronous reading of
Yeah.
everything now? Brad! Oh wait, it's not Brad this time. It's Nick. Nick!
Nick.
Yep. Sorry, time to take a break,
Yeah,
guys.
Brad came back right now for this.
Be right back.
Fucking Brad, bye. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to cause trouble.
Brad did.
Brad did.
Brad.
Wouldn't want it to get in the way of any potential suitors, you know? Wouldn't want it to get in the way.
No, it's not really a problem. I was just...
Just what? Hoping for some sort of reaction? I stared at my hands and Paul chuckled. If there's anything I can do to fix it, I will. Trust me. I guess we'll just bide our time for now.
Right.
Stupid Hannah. I shook my head. Poppy Hall rose in front of us, tall and imposing, a Georgian feel to its architecture. Paul held open the door for me. After you. He bowed in front of me, and with a giggle, I headed inside.
Good job, Paul.
Yeah. As we entered, I noticed an audible volume drop, as if people saw us and stopped talking, as if they were talking about us and didn't want to be overheard. It wasn't long before I realized why. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
The walls were lined with what could be best described as posters for a smear campaign. Paul's face was crossed out in all of them. Continue? No. Shouted at us from every inch of the walls. Paul's original campaign posters were nowhere to be seen. Paul stepped up to a row of lockers and tore down an image, holding it in front of him. Did Jeff do this? Why would he do this? It's not like him.
Paul.
Now that I was looking at the poster in his hands, I could see there was small writing etched on the bottom of the poster. Jeff did this. Paul is the bastard son of a tanuki.
Holy shit.
There's no way we can prove he's really human, and you shouldn't trust people who aren't human. Damn.
Dude, they're going after your immigrant
They're going after what even is Paul.
Yeah, what
That's
even
what
is
I used.
Paul?
Oh my god. What are we gonna do? What if people actually believe this? The look on his face broke my heart. I reached out to touch his arm, and he finally looked up from the poster and at me. Oh,
We're having a moment.
It's a moment.
It is a moment.
It's so clearly not serious. People are smarter than to believe this kind of thing, right? I bet that's why Jeff did it, half as a joke.
Paul sighed. I would love to give the general populace more credit, but fear-mongering and rumors, even when they're ridiculous, have a way of impacting people. Mm-hmm. Sounds like someone hit a nerve with the writing of this game.
Yeah, right?
You don't know that for sure.
Paul shot a look at me, and I trailed off. He also must have noticed the way the conversation died when we walked into the room. If I can't continue being the president this year, my 2-year plan will be left behind and forgotten. I worked all last year on that. I should have done something more flashy. Nobody knew that I was trying to get to help them. Nothing happened after all the promises. They thought I was just goofing off, and now they don't trust me. If I had just known... Paul crumpled the flyer in his fist and threw it on the ground. I reached out and rubbed his back, looking fearfully around the hallway. Students had gathered and were watching us. Some were pointing while others seemed uncomfortable with his outburst and scurried away.
Don't worry about this, Paul. We'll figure out a way to fix it.
Oh, we will. His face darkened and I took my hand from his back. We definitely will.
Oh, damn.
Paul's
Campaign's
pissed.
about to get ugly.
Paul stalked off shortly after, claiming he needed to find a safe place to let off some steam.
J.O.
J.O., yep.
Yep.
I let him go.
Gotta do it.
Ween steam. I let him go. I had some steam of my own to let off.
Jeff.
Hers is
Jeff.
Veen steam for her.
Ugh, look at these idiots.
Jeff, who had been leaning over a desk talking with Ian, shot up straight as a rod. I stared up at him, shaking with rage.
Why did you do that?
Jeff swallowed but smiled half-heartedly.
What?
That's you.
No,
do
you
both.
do Jeff.
No, you do both.
No, I do Ian.
Oh. What did I do? I don't know what I did.
Don't act like that with me, Jeff.
Jeff's pretty just very, very, like, Charlie Day, I would say. Give him a Charlie Day.
What did I do?
Yeah, he's like that, yeah.
Oh, Mike, I'm not staying up. Sorry.
I know you're smart in that. How could you do something like that to Paul?
Jeff glanced away from me for a second or two, then looked at me again.
I don't see anything wrong with it. It's not like people are going to believe them. It's a lighthearted and funny way to campaign against him.
Lighthearted? Rumor mongering?
It was a joke. Paul's got charisma. He's got a magnetism to him. And And he's got the bonus of having been president last year. Comparatively, I've got little to go off. Oh. People really don't know me as funny, so I thought I would throw humor into the mix. I don't see that's wrong.
No. People are going to believe them.
Fucking Donald Trump.
I know. He's trumping it right now.
People aren't that stupid on it. You're not doing them justice.
He folded his arms. Mind apparently made up. No matter what I said, he was sticking with the posters. If it makes you feel any better, I'd help him put them up. I helped him put them up.
Fucking Ian.
I glared
Do you
incredulously
notice that his font is different?
Yeah.
Is it?
Comic Sans? Is
it's
that what
Comic
it is?
Sans.
No, no
Go back.
way.
Go back.
Oh.
Up. Up. Up.
Oh. Oh my God.
It's Comic Sans. Ah! Why would that make him feel better?
I don't know, but it was worth a shot.
Oh, you could have just went forward one. I like that. Ugh.
I threw up my hands and marched back to my desk. That was it. It was on. This meant war. Paul would win this campaign if it was the last thing I ever did. Yeah, got Hana on my side. As soon as the bell rang, I packed my bags and ran to the door.
Hana, wait.
See you later.
Sorry, really important election business here.
Damn. I sprinted to the 4th floor and managed to catch Paul right as he was coming out of class.
Paul, we need to...
Hold a meeting immediately to discuss our strategy. We stared at each other in surprise. I see I picked the perfect campaign manager. No, do the laugh.
No.
Yeah.
Where are the other two?
Paul pointed to the classroom behind him where Nick and Josh were thumb wrestling as if their lives depended on it. Josh crumpled to the ground under the pressure of Nick's thumb, tears leaking from his eyes.
I will not give in.
You'll lose your thumb if you don't.
They've got cleanup duty and they're wrestling for it.
Let's just have the meeting in there then. We can help them clean up.
Oh, that's great. You're really good at multitasking.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
Look, even virtual you agrees.
Mhm, another great idea from our campaign manager. He slapped me on the back with a chuckle. Yet, you think you won't be good on the broadcast? I can't believe this.
Paul, you're not going to force me to do it, are you?
Paul
Yeah,
pushed
he
me
is.
into the room, bypassing a confused Satch and Jared on the way. Don't worry. We have more important things to discuss right now anyway. I figured that between the three of us, the classroom would get cleaned in no time. I should have known better. The three of them fought each other constantly, using each new cleaning tool as a weapon. Mops became lances, brooms became throwing lances, cleaning sprays a pepper spray equivalent. It's so dangerous. I cleaned silently on my own, working quickly to make up the messes they started. By the time we were done, my head was throbbing and I wanted to murder someone. Couldn't they see the strain they were causing on other people, or were they really too wound up in their own world to care? No wonder Paul wanted me to be their campaign manager. I was probably the only person passive enough not to up and walk out. I chuckled as if on cue, Paul stood. I clucked and as if on cue, Paul stood. Okay, my friends and loved ones, as you can see, we have a bit of a situation on our hands. The enemy is using dirty tactics in order to destroy our main line of defense, my good reputation. He started pacing through the room, the movement calming my tired eyes and making it easier to focus. He seemed to be the kind of person who moved a lot when he spoke, yes. The kind of person who had a lot of energy and passion. And
Italian.
What's that? Italian. And nowhere necessarily to put it.
Italian.
That must have been how he managed to stay in a club and run a newspaper on top of his presidency. How on earth had he found so many things that caught his passion? Here I was coming to Asagao more to escape something than to pursue something, and this kid was picking up meaning like pretty leaves in fall. I think there's only one thing we can do. He smacked his fist into his palm, eyes burning. War. We strike back, yeah!
What?
Italian. Nick and Josh.
Italian.
Italian.
Nick and Josh roared and jumped to their feet, tribal dancing around Paul. Italian.
Yeah.
Italian.
I stared at them.
You can't be serious.
We have to fight fire with fire. I'm not going to sit back and take this. Sit back and take what? A little bit of name calling? I blinked rapidly, trying to make sense of what was happening. Mai's words floated back to me.
Sometimes that happens, you know. They seem great till you spend all your time with them.
But
Oops. Come on, Jen.
what is that going to accomplish?
That's what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Paul glared at me. Uh-oh. Do you think people want a pushover for a president?
No.
Right. No, they want someone they can count on when push comes to shove. If a teacher threatens to close the school shop or extend midterms for a day or cancel a club activity because it's unsuitable, the student body needs a president to count on.
How does this count as being a pushover? You're being mean.
It's about respect.
It's manipulation. I want the student body to want to vote for you, Paul, not to not want to vote for Jeff.
Wow.
Paul's eyebrows shot to the ceiling, but Josh scoffed.
It's what happens in the end that matters, not how you get there. How draconian of you.
More Draco
Make a
Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy, if you ask me.
Classic Josh
It's weird
response.
talking to myself.
Yeah.
I will never get used to that.
Paul searched my eyes for a bit. Hannah, you... I glared at him, trying to tell him all I wanted to say through my eyes. No matter what, it wasn't right. There was no way I was able to hold my ground now, not with all three of them against me like they were, but if Paul could understand how I felt about it, maybe then he wouldn't let it happen.
If you do that, then I'm leaving this campaign.
Damn, ultimatum. You'd actually...
I wasn't trying to join a group of bullies. I was trying to join to make some kind of difference. That's what I thought mattered to you. Of course, saving face is legit too. If you're concerned about your pride, then by all means, continue with what you're doing. I doubt it'll have the effect you're wanting it to, though. People who only want to take from other people never earn others' respect in the end.
Dude, this is just paralleling with what's going on right now.
This
Perfectly.
is incredible.
Are you implying that Paul is like that?
I shrugged, my heart beating rapidly. I didn't know what I was implying, but I knew that what I was thinking, and my thinking was that I didn't want to be around a person like that. I didn't want to be friends with a bully. I wasn't about to let rumors ruin somebody else's life just because I stood to gain something from it. Paul and I stared at each other, passing through an absurd kind of stalemate. No. Hannah's right.
What?
I am?
She is?
She is. He smirked, then shook his head. All right. I knew there was some fire in you.
Would you mind telling me these things? I'd love to know more about who you think I am.
Paul crowed and clapped his hands. Did you hear that great laugh? Nick sat
Paul
there
laugh.
with me trying to come up with laughs. See, she's got a mouth on her. He jumped up and down and I frowned at him, feeling like an elephant in a circus tent.
Do you mind?
Right, sorry. If we're not doing that, then our next best bet is to, He glanced at me, Nick, and Josh. Neither of us said anything. Confront him?
I already did that, actually. He insists they saw it as a joke.
A joke?
They? Ian helped. I knew that poster was too clever to be Jeff.
All right. Paul smacked his hand on the desk, grinning wildly. We're going to win this campaign no matter what. Got it?
Oh, we're going to have a debate?
That was already the plan.
Yeah. Well, now it's Plan 5.0, and there's no room for mistakes in Plan 5.0. Got it?
I guess so.
If you understand, put your hands in. He nodded to his hand on the desk. Nick and Josh threw their hands on top of his, and all three turned to look plainly at me. Hannah? I sighed and put my hand in too. Yeah! Wonderful. To presidency and the tournament. May we win it all. Ha!
Italian.
Paul threw his hand up in the air all by himself. Nick, Josh, and I followed a second later, a belated heh escaping from our lips. We gotta work on that, first of all. He put out his hand on the desk again and nodded for us to get into formation. I followed suit, head spinning. What, oh what, had I gotten myself into? Classic to us.
Dude, so good.
Hey, chapter 2 was short.
Yeah, it was rather short.
Chapter 1 was long because it was like, here's everybody.
Yeah,
Get a taste for everybody.
Yep.
And now it's like, okay, now you're locked into who you picked.
Yeah.
The next week passed slowly as plans were made for Paul's campaign. Given that Continue had access to a newspaper segment in which to promote Paul, most of their articles became weird 1950s style propaganda,
that's right.
talking Paul up as some kind of spotless hero everyone could look up to.
Did you know that Paul doesn't poop?
Did you know that Paul can make other people not poop? Do you want to not poop?
Did
Vote
you
for
know that Paul was birthed by a dolphin? It was magnificent.
That's why he's so damn smart.
Did you know that dolphins are smarter than humans? That's why he's
But
smarter than everyone.
But not Paul. Paul's smarter than dolphins.
Paul's as smarter as a dolphin and a human put together. They
And
liked
he
the
definitely doesn't shit.
a non-shitting smart human. Paul Ritchey.
Dolphin Man. They liked the articles, but every time I looked at one, I wanted
Paulfin.
to strangle them. They were making Paul too unrelatable and were engaging everything only from his point of view. He talked a lot about wanting the best for the student populace, but never detailed in what way he would benefit them. Josh said those parts would be too boring, and the students just wanted a superhero-esque figure to look up to.
Oh, we just got to chapter 3.
It was getting good, Brad. Why is he a disappointment every time?
Oh,
just is,
I
man.
also finally figured out what your full name, your full first name means. Paulfin.
Paulfin?
It's your dog.
Oh, now you get it.
I
Paulfin.
get it now.
Makes sense.
Now that I understand your origin, I understand why your name is Paulfin Vincent Ritchie.
Mm-hmm. It's Italian.
It's Italian. Paulfin.
Italian, yeah.
It's Italian
They
dolphin
changed
mix.
it when your family came over.
It was Paulfini.
Paulfino. Yeah, it was with Paulfino, depending on what region you're from.
Yeah. We're from Southern, so Paulfini.
Paulfin.
We'll be back in a week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.